The phone wasn't hers. At least, that's what I told myself when I first saw it. It was a cheap black smartphone, face down on the floor of our bedroom closet, half hidden behind a stack of old shoeboxes. No case. No lock screen notification. Just sitting there. My wife had never owned a phone like that. And when I turned it over, the screen lit up. One message. Just 3 words. Is he asleep? That was the moment I realized something was very wrong. Because the sender's name wasn't saved. Just a number. And before I could even process what I was looking at, another message popped up. We need to talk about him. My name is Daniel. I'm 34 years old, and up until a few months ago, I thought I had a pretty normal life. I live in a quiet suburb outside Columbus, Ohio. Nothing fancy, just rows of identical houses, kids riding bikes in the evenings, neighbors who wave but don't really talk much. I work in IT for a logistics company downtown. It's not glamorous, but it pays the bills. My wife, Emily, works as a dental hygienist. We've been married for 6 years. And honestly, we've always been pretty solid. No huge fights. No crazy drama. Just a typical married couple trying to get through work weeks and weekends like everyone else. Emily was the organized one. The planner. She loved routine. Sunday mornings meant coffee on the porch. Friday nights meant takeout and Netflix. The kind of predictable life most people eventually settle into. At least, that's what I thought. Looking back now, the changes started small. So small I didn't notice them at first. Emily began staying later at work. She said the clinic had been busier than usual. More patients. More paperwork. That made sense. Healthcare jobs can be like that. Then she started bringing her phone everywhere. And I mean everywhere. Bathroom. Kitchen. Even quick trips to the mailbox. At first I joked about it. Expecting a call from the president? I asked one night while we were watching TV. She laughed. But it was forced. Like she was distracted. Still, I didn't think much of it. Everyone's glued to their phone these days. But then something else changed. Emily started sleeping differently. Before, she used to crash the moment her head hit the pillow. Now she'd stay up late scrolling through something, her screen lighting up the dark bedroom while I tried to fall asleep. Sometimes she'd even take the phone into the bathroom and close the door. Again, not totally unusual. But something about it felt secretive. One night around 2 a.m., I woke up to the sound of whispering. At first I thought I was dreaming. But then I realized Emily wasn't in bed. I sat up. The bathroom light was on. And through the door, I could hear her voice. Low. Quiet. Like she didn't want anyone to hear. I couldn't make out the words. But I knew one thing. She was on the phone. When she came back to bed 10 minutes later, she looked surprised to see me awake. Everything okay? I asked. Yeah, she said quickly. Just my sister. She couldn't sleep. Emily's sister lives in Arizona. Different time zone. That explanation made sense. But something in my gut didn't feel right. Still, I let it go. Because that's what you do in a marriage. You trust each other. At least, you try to. About 2 weeks later, something happened that I couldn't ignore. I came home early from work. It was a Friday afternoon, and our office network had gone down, so everyone was sent home. When I pulled into the driveway, Emily's car was already there. Which was strange. She normally worked until 5. I walked inside. The house was quiet. Emily? I called. No answer. I checked the living room. Kitchen. Bathroom. Nothing. But then I heard something upstairs. A thud. Like something being dropped. I walked up slowly. The bedroom door opened suddenly. Emily stepped out. Her face looked pale. Like she'd been startled. "Oh," she said. "You're home early." "Yeah," I said. "Network crashed." She forced a smile. "Oh, okay." Something about her energy felt off. Nervous. I glanced behind her into the bedroom. Everything looked normal. But Emily quickly stepped into the hallway and closed the door behind her. That was unusual. "Everything okay?" I asked. "Yeah," she said. "Just cleaning." Cleaning. In the middle of the afternoon. With the bedroom door closed. Again, my gut started whispering that something was wrong. But I pushed the thought away. Until later that night. Emily fell asleep on the couch around 10 p.m. Her phone slipped from her hand onto the cushion. And for the first time in 6 years, I considered checking it. I stared at the phone for a long time. It felt wrong. Like crossing a line you can't uncross. But something kept nagging at me. That late-night whispering. The nervous energy. The closed bedroom door. Finally, I picked it up. The screen lit up. Face ID. Locked. Of course. I sighed and placed it back down. Maybe I was overthinking everything. Maybe work stress was getting to me. Maybe Emily really was just busy. I went upstairs to get ready for bed. And that's when I opened the closet. Our bedroom closet has 2 sides. Left side is mine. Right side is Emily's. I was looking for a hoodie when I noticed something strange near the floor. Behind a stack of shoe boxes. Something black. Small. At first I thought it was an old charger. But when I reached down and pulled it out, my stomach dropped. It was a phone. Not Emily's iPhone. A completely different phone. Cheap. Unfamiliar. And powered on. That's when the screen lit up with the message. "Is he asleep?" My heart started pounding. I stared at the message. Then another one appeared. "We need to talk about him." About him. About me. Suddenly the bedroom door creaked behind me. And Emily's voice filled the room. "Daniel." I slowly turned around. She was standing in the doorway. Her eyes locked on the phone in my hand. And the look on her face told me something I will never forget. She wasn't surprised I found it. She was terrified. I didn't sleep that night. Even after putting the phone back exactly where I found it, my mind kept replaying what I had seen. Tomorrow. Same time. Those 2 words echoed in my head like a warning siren. Lena lay beside me in bed, breathing softly like she always did when she was asleep. Her back was turned toward me. She looked peaceful. Normal. But now everything about her felt different. I kept staring at the ceiling, wondering if the woman lying next to me was someone I actually knew. Or someone I had just discovered for the first time. The next morning felt strange. Normally Lena woke up before me, humming quietly while she made coffee. But that morning I woke first. I watched her sleeping. Her face looked calm, innocent even. The same face I had trusted for 7 years. The same woman I married. The same woman whose secret phone was sitting in her purse downstairs. My stomach twisted. Maybe there was a simple explanation. Maybe it belonged to work. Maybe it was an old phone she forgot about. Maybe. My thoughts stopped when Lena suddenly opened her eyes. For a split second, she looked startled to see me staring at her. Then she smiled. "Good morning," she said softly. "Morning," I replied. My voice sounded normal. Somehow. "Why are you looking at me like that?" she laughed. I forced a smile. "Just thinking." She leaned over and kissed my cheek. Then she got out of bed and walked to the bathroom. The moment the door closed, I exhaled. This was going to be harder than I thought. At breakfast, everything felt staged. Like we were both actors playing roles. Lena poured coffee. Big day today, she said. Yeah? Yeah. I might be working late. My heart skipped. Working late. Or meeting him. Oh, I said casually. Anything special? She shrugged. Just work stuff. Work stuff. The lie rolled off her tongue so easily it made my skin crawl. I nodded and took a sip of coffee. Then I decided to test something. You still using your old phone? I asked. Her hand froze for half a second. It was subtle. But I saw it. What old phone? She asked. The one you used before your upgrade last year. Oh, that thing, she laughed. I think I threw it away. My chest tightened. That was a lie. A very clear lie. Because that exact phone was sitting in her purse. Powered on. Receiving secret messages. I forced another smile. Gotcha. She studied my face carefully. Like she was trying to read my thoughts. For a moment, neither of us spoke. Then she grabbed her purse. I should get going. Have a good day, I said. Love you. Love you too. And just like that, she walked out the door. Leaving behind 1,000 questions. The moment her car pulled out of the driveway, I grabbed my keys. I had a decision to make. I could confront her now. Ask about the phone. Ask about the messages. Ask who Dee was. But something told me that if I did that now, she would lie. And I needed the truth. Not another lie. So instead, I did something I never thought I'd do. I followed her. Lena worked at a marketing firm downtown. I had been there before. Office building. Parking garage. Nothing unusual. I kept my distance as she drove. Every red light made my heart pound harder. I felt like a criminal. Or a spy. But mostly, I felt like a husband who was about to find out the worst possible thing. Eventually she pulled into the office parking garage. I parked 2 rows behind her. She stepped out of the car. Normal. Relaxed. Just like any other workday. Then she walked inside the building. I sat there for a moment. Watching the glass doors close behind her. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe the messages meant nothing. Maybe. My phone buzzed. It was a notification. A location update. From Lena. My heart dropped. I had forgotten something important. 2 years ago, Lena insisted we share locations on our phones. Just in case of emergencies, she said. I opened the location app. Her phone was inside the office building. Right where it should be. But then something strange happened. Another device appeared. Same name. Same account. But a second location. My stomach twisted. Because the second device was moving. I zoomed in on the map. The second phone was leaving the neighborhood. Heading toward the highway. But Lena had just walked into her office. Which meant only one thing. She wasn't carrying that phone. Someone else was. My pulse began racing. Who had it? And why? Without thinking, I started my car. And followed the map. The location led me across town. Through busy streets. Past coffee shops. Past apartment complexes. Until finally the signal stopped moving. The map showed a small suburban house. Quiet street. White picket fences. Kids' bikes in driveways. The kind of neighborhood where nothing suspicious ever happens. I parked a block away. My heart pounded so loud it felt like it was echoing inside my skull. The second phone. Lena's secret phone. Was inside that house. Which meant one thing. Someone was there waiting for her. Or for whoever used that phone. I stepped out of the car. The air felt heavy. Like something bad was about to happen. Then I saw something that made my stomach drop. A black SUV pulled into the driveway. The driver stepped out. Tall guy. Maybe mid-30s. Clean cut. Confident. He walked up to the front door like he belonged there. Then the door opened. Someone inside greeted him. But I couldn't see who. The man stepped inside. And the door closed. My hands began shaking. Because suddenly the messages made sense. Tomorrow. Same time. They weren't talking about texting. They were talking about meeting. Right here. In that house. I stood there for several minutes. Watching. Waiting. My mind racing with possibilities. Was Lena coming here later? Was this guy D? Was he the one texting her? Every scenario felt worse than the last. Then suddenly, my phone buzzed again. Another location update. My breath caught in my throat. Because Lena's main phone, the one she took to work, had just left the office building. And it was heading straight toward this house. My entire body went cold. Because if Lena was coming here, then whatever was happening inside that house was about to become a whole lot worse. And I had a feeling that once I saw the truth, there would be no going back. I watched from across the street as Lena's car pulled up to the small suburban house. The black SUV was already gone. My stomach knotted. My mind screamed at me to do something. I had to know. I needed the truth. Lena stepped out, looking normal, professional attire, hair done, the same smile she gave me every morning. She carried her bag, waved at someone through the window, and walked up to the front door. Then the door opened, and my world tilted. It wasn't another woman greeting her. It wasn't a man I recognized. It was my own reflection on a large wall mirror positioned in the entryway. I blinked. My hands shook. I wasn't seeing things. Through the glass, I could see Lena holding her phone, talking softly. But the person she was speaking to was someone else. Someone I had never seen before. And then the words came through, low but clear enough for me to hear from the sidewalk. Make sure he doesn't find out. Everything depends on him sleeping tonight. My chest tightened. Everything depends on him. Me. I stumbled back a step, trying to process what I'd just heard. This wasn't an affair. This wasn't some simple secret life. This was something else entirely. Something dangerous. I fumbled for my phone and tapped the screen. The second phone, the hidden one, had just sent another message. He's closer than you think. Don't let him see you. I froze. Was this a warning? Or a threat? Minutes passed like hours. I debated whether to go inside, confront her, or just drive away. But I couldn't leave. Because whatever this was, it involved me. I circled the block, trying to find a safe angle to see inside without being noticed. Then I saw movement through the curtains. Lena wasn't alone in the living room. A figure, a tall man, stood behind her. I couldn't see his face. But the way he moved, the way Lena reacted to him, the tension in the room. It was clear. She wasn't afraid. She was obeying. Suddenly, Lena pulled out her main phone. She typed something. Then the man took a small device out of his pocket, a camera, and pointed it at her. At her. And at the reflection. I realized with horror what was happening. The hidden phone, the messages, the mysterious D, this wasn't about cheating. It was surveillance. She was being monitored. And I was about to step into it. I wanted to run. I wanted to scream. But my feet moved forward. I had to know the truth. I crept closer to the window, staying in the shadows. Then I saw it. A small table in the corner of the living room. It was set up like a command center. Laptops, cameras, a microphone. Screens flickering with live video. And on one of them, a live feed of our bedroom back home. Every angle. Every night. Every movement. The red blinking light. The second phone. It all made sense. I stumbled back, trying to process. "Lena," I whispered. She turned her head slightly toward the window. Her eyes widened, not with fear, but with recognition. She wasn't panicked. She was sad. "Daniel," she said softly. "I wanted to tell you. I didn't know how." I froze. What is all this?" I asked, my voice trembling. She gestured to the screens. "I didn't cheat on you. I'm not hiding a lover. All of this, it's about protection. About stopping him from finding you. From finding us." I shook my head. Who is he?" Lena's lips quivered. "The man you thought I worked with, the one sending messages, he's dangerous. He's been tracking me for years. And now, he's targeting you." I wanted to laugh. I wanted to think she was lying. But the evidence was everywhere. The hidden phone, the messages, the cameras, the control center in that living room, it was all real. And my heart sank. Because for years, I thought the biggest threat to my marriage was lies or secrets. I was wrong. The biggest threat was something I couldn't see. Lena explained everything, voice shaking but steady. Years ago, before we met, she had stumbled upon a criminal investigation. Some of the files she accidentally discovered at a previous job involved dangerous people. She had received threats. She had to disappear. She had to protect herself. When we married, she thought the danger had passed. But apparently, someone never forgot. The messages. The hidden phone. The cameras. All designed to keep tabs. And me? I had become part of the equation. He was watching me. Monitoring us. Waiting for the right moment. And Lena had been trying to stop it. I wanted to scream, to confront, to grab her and run. But she shook her head. "You can't just storm in there, Daniel. It's too dangerous. He's watching everything. Every move." I swallowed hard, heart racing. Suddenly, a notification popped up on my main phone. Another message from the hidden phone. "He knows you're awake. Be careful." I dropped the phone. My hands shook. The line between home, safety, and danger had disappeared. Because I realized. I wasn't just an observer anymore. I was a target. Minutes later, the man in the house, the one controlling the cameras, spoke. "She's panicking. Should we activate him?" Lena's voice trembled. "No. Not yet. He has to know the truth." I had to get out of there. Had to. But my feet felt glued to the sidewalk. Because the truth, the horrifying truth, was finally clear. The second phone. The secret messages. The cameras. It wasn't about infidelity. It was about a life I didn't even know I was living. And now that I had seen it, there was no going back. I ran. I didn't think. I didn't plan. I didn't wait. I sprinted across the street, heart pounding, mind screaming. Lena's voice called after me. "Daniel. Wait. Don't go yet." But I couldn't stop. I had to get back to the car. To safety. To some semblance of normal. The second phone buzzed in my pocket. I froze. The screen lit up. "They know you're awake. Don't make a mistake." I shoved it back in my pocket and kept running. By the time I reached my car, my hands were trembling so badly I almost couldn't unlock the door. I fumbled with the keys, finally sliding into the driver's seat. Engine on. Seat belt fastened. And then, I looked in the rearview mirror. A black SUV slowly drove past. No lights. No sound. Just enough to make my stomach twist. I pressed the gas. On the way home, I tried to make sense of everything Lena had said. A hidden phone. Secret messages. Cameras in the living room. Threats I couldn't see. All this time, I had thought my biggest problem was trust. Turns out, trust had nothing to do with it. The danger was real. And it was close. Closer than I could have imagined. When I finally pulled into our driveway, the house looked normal. Emily's car wasn't there. Lights off. Quiet. I got out, heart hammering, and moved to the front door. Keys in hand. The lock clicked. I opened the door. The house was empty. Silent. Still. I went room by room. Bedroom. Bathroom. Living room. Kitchen. Nothing. No sign of a struggle. No hidden cameras blinking. No second phone. It was as if the house had swallowed the danger and spat back only normalcy. And yet, I knew it wasn't over. I went upstairs. The closet. The stack of shoe boxes. Gone. The hidden phone? Gone. I sank onto the bed. Exhausted. Terrified. Confused. My hands shook. I had questions. Millions of questions. But the only one I could ask. I wasn't sure I would ever get an answer. Because Emily, my wife, had secrets. Secrets she hadn't shared. And maybe some she never could. Hours passed. I stayed awake, staring at the ceiling, thinking about the messages. Is he asleep? We need to talk about him. They know you're awake. Don't make a mistake. Who are they? Who had been watching us? Was it over? Would they come back? The next morning, Emily returned home. She walked in like nothing had happened. Good morning, she said softly. Morning, I replied, my voice tight. She smiled, but it didn't reach her eyes. I didn't say anything about the second phone. I didn't ask. I couldn't. Not yet. Because I didn't know if asking would make the danger real again. Instead, we went about our day. Breakfast. Coffee. Work calls. Daily routine. Normal. On the surface. But underneath, everything had changed. Every glance, every touch, every shared smile now carried weight. Suspicion. Fear. Unease. And the knowledge that someone out there was still watching. Days later, the first message appeared again. Not on her main phone. Not in the house. On the second phone. I hadn't touched it since that night. It lit up with a single notification. Be careful. You're not alone. I stared at it for what felt like hours. Then I deleted it. But the feeling didn't go away. Because some things, once discovered, never truly leave you. I realized something crucial that day. Trust is fragile. And safety is an illusion. Sometimes the people you love most are the ones trying to protect you from things you can't see. And sometimes, the secrets they keep are the only things standing between you and danger. I never touched that second phone again. I never asked questions I wasn't ready for. And I never forgot the feeling of seeing those messages. Is he asleep? Because I realized then, sometimes it's better to not check. Sometimes the truth is more dangerous than ignorance. Sometimes the world is darker than you ever imagined. And sometimes, the person you thought you knew, is carrying the weight of that darkness all alone. If this story gave you chills, remember, there are secrets lurking in every corner of our lives, sometimes in the most ordinary places. Like this video if it scared you. Share it with someone who loves suspense. Subscribe to Hidden Stories by Banki and turn on bell notifications so you never miss a shocking story. Because trust me, the next story is even darker.